Peace and love to the gods and the goddesses. I go by the name Black.Poet, act like you know it, and you rocking with Live from the Motherland. And I'm rocking with
Dora.
Let's get into it. This is a special edition of Live from the Motherland. Normally we focus on mental health and this, that, and the third. This here is called No PC Radio, where it's fuck cancel culture, fuck hypersensitivity, and fuck political correctness. We're just going to be as raw and uncut as possible because we're not doing all that policing the freedom of speech.
What?
Are you speaking sign?
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, so we just left off on the whole Will and Jada entanglement thing and the energy of polyamory, polyandry, polygamy, etc. Now, I don't have any beef with monogamy. I'm not saying it's unnatural practice. However, I think the disdain that people have for polygamy or any type of poly relationships is a little bit unwarranted. Some people say it's unrighteous, the moral compass of a person must be off if they do something like that, and that's not true. It's like, I think 18, 20 countries across the world practice polygamy. Most of them are African or Muslim, but still, you know, if it's acceptable in other cultures, then why is it looked down upon so much in the Western Hemisphere? Even in the scriptures, there were all types of righteous men for the people who try to use the scriptures to validate why they don't support polygamy. It was all types of righteous men in the scriptures who had multiple wives. Jacob, Israel, had Rachel, had Leah, had concubines and a flock of children when he was traveling to go meet back with his brother Esau. So this whole energy of Solomon, I think, which one was it? Who was stillborn and they couldn't have children to a certain age, so they ended up sleeping with the housemaid. It was all types of righteous men. It's even one scripture where the Most High says, and I quote, where the Most High says something like, I would have given you all that and more. I gave you all your wives and I gave you all this and that. I would have given you all that and more had you abided by me. So if if you pay attention to that scripture, it says, I gave you your wives. Why would the Most High give you something that was unrighteous? So that's just a little poke in the hole of all the people who try to use the scriptures to validate why monogamy is bullshit. I mean, why polygamy is bullshit. Now that doesn't mean be over the top in lust, just fuck whatever you see, because I think that's the misconception when it's brought up. You know, like men just want to sleep with however many women, you know, that they see, which isn't supposed to be the point. It's supposed, first of all, you have to be financially, spiritually, mentally, physically equipped to deal with more than one wife. If you're not up to par, if you're not an alpha, if you haven't handled yourself on a macrocosmic scale, then you shouldn't even be thinking about obtaining one woman, not to speak on the 87 that you might want in your lustful desires. It's supposed to be upright. You're not supposed to just fuck everything, you know what I mean? So I'm not trying to put out an energy where being lustful is the move. I'm just talking about on an upright scale, polygamy versus monogamy. Now I'll get into my own energy about it, but I don't want to take up all the space. How do you feel about whichever poly angle you want to tackle, whether it be monogamy, polygamy, polyandry, polyamory, etc.?
I feel like it's all cool as long as you have like clear communication. I feel like that's what it all comes down to, communication. I'm cool with it. I want all of that. You know, I'm okay with all three.
So if you were in a dynamic with a guy and say he brings in 6 figures a year, etc., all this shit is together, comes to you, Dora, I love you, you're the best woman I've ever met, I want to marry you, etc. Whether you talk about marriage as a concept, we can get into that after. I want to marry you, however, I feel that same energy for another woman, and I want to have her be my wife as well. It'd be us 3 living in some big ass house in the burbs, etc. You gonna accept that energy?
I would be willing to accept it if I can grow to know who the woman is. I can't just go into it blindly. You know, it has to be a relationship with all of us, not you loving her and me loving you. We all have to love each other.
Okay, I feel that. I mean, obviously, dog is not going to just bring some random bitch to you and then there's no bond and no energy between the two of you. You know, that would be crazy.
It is crazy, but people do it.
So, flip the question on me. Ask me about polyandry.
Now I'm curious. Would that be something that you're comfortable with?
the reason I personally wouldn't be comfortable with it because the undertone in polygamy is to be the provider as well. So I couldn't imagine myself being reliant on a woman financially or in any other way outside of being a helpmeet. Like I couldn't see myself like the Jetsons. Yeah, like the Jetsons' wife at the end where the father is giving her money and she takes like the whole fucking wallet type shit. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't see myself like, honey, I'm going to the store. Can I get 200? Like, you know, that's not my energy because I wouldn't want to be relying on any other person, let alone my wife. That just, to me, defeats the purpose of what the traditional male role is supposed to be. Now, I'm not getting into the whole gender role conversation. That's for later. But no, I couldn't do it. You know. Now, if I was comfortable with that dynamic, being the quote-unquote house husband and I take care of the kids and she provides for everything. If I was comfortable with that dynamic, hey, get the dick you want. Like Oprah, if Oprah hit my line, like, hey, with all that money and she's like, yo, I got Stedman over here, you that young new dick that I want to rock with, then maybe. You know, but no, I couldn't do it based off how I am mentally.
I mean, personally, you keep your own. You always have your own. At least that's what I was taught. Like, you take his bag, but you have your own bag. Just in case, one, anything happens to him, or two, you have to go get your own, you know? Or
he just wakes up one day and says, all right, I'm out. You gained 200 pounds. Fuck this. It's been a nice run. You can have a good one. Yeah, definitely. I don't think... in 2020, plus with the way everything's going and you know, the whole women's independence movement, I don't think too many women that are considered to be quote-unquote millennials or have adopted that modern ideology would want the man to be the sole provider in a sense where they were dependent anyway. But even if you were, you should definitely have your own bag as well because you never know.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be okay with a dude taking care of me because I'm always the provider. I play that masculine role. I always have. I hope I will not in the future, but I'll be okay with that. Like if my man was to tell me, okay, you know, do what you want to do, I'll take care of you. Of course, me being who I am, I'm going to pursue everything that I wanted to. My dreams, any hobbies, anything of that sort. I will not just be a housewife. You know, but it gives me an opportunity to actually find who I am. So I'll be okay with that. So if Oprah came to me, hell yeah, I'm down for it. Oprah, where's Stephen at? Y'all like eggs.
You feel me? My question though, can we backtrack? Can we rewind? You was like, I've played the masculine role, I've played the provider role in my relationship previously. Now, I don't want no exes to see this and get personally offended, but I'm just curious. I'm just curious, you know.
I don't care.
I'm curious.
They know what the fuck it was.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. What were they or said person providing to you where you were fine being the financial provider in a relationship? Was the dick just bomb? What about the situation?
It's not like we sat down and had a conversation. It's like, I'm gonna take care of you.
Right, but what was your mental justification for it? Or more so, what were you getting on from their end that, you know?
There's nothing else around it. And then like my age as well. You know, it was just a lot of growing that I had to do with myself. But yeah, that good dick, man, it does something to you. I'm not gonna lie.
Because I hear women say that.
It's a true thing. You can be digmatized.
I hear a lot of women say, like, you know, they were in a dynamic where they were the sole provider. And I've never...
A lot?
Yeah.
Word?
And around our age.
I need to start, I don't know, what do they call that? Not a book club. What do you call a club when you gather and speak?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I was going to call it a Socratic seminar, but I don't think that's the same thing.
No.
I don't think that's the same thing.
Wow. I'm really, like, astounded at the fact you met others that have similar paths.
And every time I ask them, they normally go with the angle of, oh, I was in love and I cared so much about the man and he took advantage of me. But you went straight to it.
Mine was good dick.
Dick.
And he took advantage of me. The dick had me going.
Hey, well, I ain't gonna lie. Pussy has had me traveling across the country. Everybody at a young age, they gonna say, oh, you sent beta. Look, when you young and you don't know better, you young, dumb, and full of cum, you make a lot of stupid decisions off orgasms. That ain't me. I wish it was. I ain't make that one up. But yeah, like when you're young, you do make a lot of stupid ass decisions based off of just.
I just feel like it's because you're emotionally imbalanced and you're still
That
trying
part,
to
you still
find
learning yourself.
your placement in life.
Which go segue, yes, yes, queen. That gets me back into the monogamy conversation. I think people's reasoning for preferring monogamy in the Western Hemisphere, of course, is the indoctrination of people are taught that this is the marriage sequence that everybody should go into. But also, there's an energy, I think, of attachment and infatuation, being territorial, that makes people feel like, this is my person, and I'm using this person to fill voids within myself, especially if they're younger or just, emotionally damaged or filled with trauma or whatever the case may be. And that's not genuine love. Like
That's not unconditional love, because you
At
have
all.
to love yourself.
100%.
You can't find happiness in someone else if you don't have it within. But I could also say that that's incorrect, because I've met someone that has found happiness within another and don't have it in themselves, which is mind-boggling because I've never experienced that before.
That sounds like madness.